and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, back again with another San Diego Comic-Con toy news update. And in today's video, we're covering all the miscellaneous stuff from San Diego Comic-Con so far. Little asterisk here, about Friday afternoon is when I'm filming this, so things change constantly, and we still got this weekend to cover for San Diego Comic-Con. Check out my panel reviews, check out all the toy news, of course, from San Diego Comic-Con the last couple of days. A lot of videos that we've already done, a lot of videos to come, so stick around, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of fun stuff as well. Dangerously close to 60,000 subscribers on the channel as well. We'll do a giveaway around that, so stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't along the way. Check out my Patreon. You can even be a free member of the Patreon, but that is the way to support the channel. You guys hopefully know that by now, but let's dive into it. Let's dive into some San Diego Comic-Con news. Let's dive into NECA, a little bit chill with NECA this year. Without Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Todd McFarlane, you and I have known this for a long time. Real ones, if you're watching this, you're probably a real one. We've talked about this since March, that I fully expected we were done with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NECA. With Mattel getting the master license, we had a deep dive video talking about it. We put on our business hat. They're going to cut off everybody. Nobody's going to be making turtle stuff because Mattel wants all the money. They want it all. They're going to maximize their profits. And then years from now, when they see they can get some money outside of it, maybe they'll put those licenses out of there. But I am not shocked at all. And like I said, we've been talking about this since March. It was officially confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con. We are done with NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very, very sad, especially during the COVID time. Man, Turtle Mania was running wild for NECA. Things have slowed down a lot over the last year or two, obviously, as they're getting deeper, longer in the tooth and the line. But honestly, as the dust settles, the greatest Ninja Turtle line of all time, I would say, is the cartoon NECA collection. Absolutely love those figures. Very, very fun to collect. We still got some more. I should have a shipment here in the next week or so from Target of a lot of those figures. We'll inbox those. And then the last official figure, Tempestra, we're getting her finally here. A lot of people have been wanting it. $62 on the NECA website, a very expensive figure, but we are getting it. That is, I guess, going to be the final figure. No more movie, no more than anything. We got to look towards Mattel here. And I guess a perfect time to segue to this. A lot of people were saying, I'm hoping that we see Mattel Ninja Turtles. I'm hoping we see Mattel DC. Guess what? As of now, we haven't seen any of that kind of stuff, nor will we. We got the little kids line out there. That's fine for what it is. But from everything I've been told, the Mattel DC line, we're not going to be able to show that stuff off till first of the year, and it should be in stock shipping first of the year. So you see it. It should be at your Targets, Walmarts, Amazon, and all points in between. Think of it like Star Wars launches, the Mattel Wrestling launch once upon a time, going to be very similar to that. So we're not going to see anything until that day comes. I know retailers have been able to put some pre-orders in, but it's all coding. You don't even know what you're ordering, which is a wild thing too. But we didn't get anything as expected on that, and I fully expected the same thing for Ninja Turtles. Lawsuits, all that kind of stuff. They don't want anybody. You don't have the master license till the first of the year. You're not going to do anything. But let me tell you, you know Mattel's working in the background. I'm sure they already got Series 1 of Turtles all lined up to go. Multiple series of DC ready to go. We'll have to see more come first of the year. There should be a big explosion around that. And I personally can't wait for it. It's going to be expensive. Part of me says, do I really want to start all over again? I don't know. We have to decide that over the next 6+ months. We'll see what ends up happening. 5 months, 4 months, whatever time is at this point here. But we are done with Turtles. But we're not done with Kiss. The triumphant return of Kiss to NECA. Very interesting. Dress to Kill box set. Very, very cool. Black and white edition. I could see them doing a color edition in the future too. We'll see if that happens. But does this mean we're going to get a lot more Kiss stuff out there? Part of me knows. I put on my business hat. Kiss sold their image and likeness to this company. I think it was ABBA's company, if I'm not mistaken. we're going to see so much Kiss merchandise, and I think this is the start of it with NECA. Much like Todd McFarlane on the couch has got to plug some holes without DC, NECA is going to have to plug a lot of holes without Turtles. What will plug those holes? Well, we're seeing one of those things right here with Kiss. Have to imagine we'll get more of the looks from Kiss. Personally, I want a brand new updated Creatures in the Night. That's my favorite Kiss album of all time. Would love to see that. We'll see what happens there in the future. But it looks like Dress to Kill 4-pack around the corner here. We also saw another new line here. NECA, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I never saw that movie. I never saw it. I can't believe it. I used to go with my girlfriend to movies all the time around that time. For some reason, we never got to that one. Is what it is, but that is coming. Jason Universe, Sweet Revenge Jason. A lot of Jasons being shown off from the Jason Universe. Going to be interesting once that new series comes out, video games and all that, where we go with Jason. And of course, right now it's all Jason from the movies, but now we're going to get Jason video game. We're going to get this design. Will it murky the waters too much at Camp Crystal Lake? I'm not sure, but we're getting this one here. One we saw about in the future, those Ben Cooper kids aren't multiplying quite like they used to, as we can see. And I wonder if all is well over there at NECA. We didn't see a ton of stuff at NECA this year. Usually they're going balls to the wall. Dialed back immensely here. I'm also seeing at local Targets dialed back the space. I don't know what that means, but I think where there's gas, there's fire. There's smoke, there's fire. All points in between. If you're using a propane tank or a charcoal grill, it doesn't matter. But something to that there. We're seeing NECA dial back the business a little bit. But we saw some Ben Cooper kids here, the McDonald's ones. We knew those were coming, and we're seeing those around the corner. I got to pick those up. Very nostalgic for me as a little kid. I was just young enough to remember those days, and I also remember those cookies. They used to have like a little bag of cookies there with all their faces on them. Those were delicious. Those were delicious cookies. I would like to get some of those. And then we got Star Trek. We already knew those were coming. We're seeing those. Those should be shipping very soon, I do believe. We can head back to the streets of Sesame Street. Oscar the Grouch, am I mistaken? Did we see that at San Diego Comic-Con last year? But we got Oscar the Grouch coming up for pre-order on NECA, plus all the other retailers here in the future, like our friends over there at jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save 15%. We should see him over there before you know it. And we also saw NECA leaning into a little bit of the Muppets, too. So we did see Christmas Carol 2-pack there. I wouldn't be opposed to a Kermit. I'm not a huge Muppets guy. I respect the Muppets, but it's one of those things. We always talk about it. There's a lot of wrestling fans that don't take the next step into action figures. I'm kind of that guy for Muppets. I can watch the Muppets. I can appreciate the Muppets. Muppet Babies, an all-timer, I guess. Todd McFarlane, if there's a Muppet Babies line, I'm picking up the Muppet Babies. But I wouldn't take that step to get Muppet figures. But I wouldn't mind a Kermit in my collection. I think I could take a Kermit along the way. I'm here for that. We also saw some DuckTales. Was it last year they showed DuckTales too? I don't know, but I'm here for DuckTales. Woo, of course. DuckTales, my all-time favorite Disney property. I'm not a Disney guy at all. Disney's never really done a whole lot for me, but DuckTales stole my heart and never let go once upon a time. I will buy all the NECA DuckTale figures. I got to have those. Moving on outside of NECA, moving over to BBTS. I got to let the dust settle on that stuff. They have an overwhelming amount of stuff. Stuff I'm interested in, stuff I'm not interested in, but something I know I'm interested in. I'm a completionist for this line going forward. It is Cops and Crooks, and we did finally get some figures shown off. Long Arm, my favorite. Him and Bulletproof were my favorite. We got Long Arm coming. We saw him showed off. We saw Dr. Bad Vibes, another good one. And then we saw the Buzzy Bomb. I don't even remember that one, but I think that was what Dr. Bad Vibes drove around on or something, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. So we got those coming. And then we got Hector Ramirez. That's what I'm calling it, but it's like a TV announcer. He looks like he fit right in with the G.I. Joes. Kind of has that Geraldo Rivera vibe. I'm picking that one up for sure. But we saw a lot of other stuff from Big Bad Toy Store. I want to see like more on that. I got to investigate a little bit more. Maybe we'll talk about it in the future. But some interesting stuff coming from Big Bad Workshop. A lot of stuff hard to keep track of. I really want that Larry Hama collection that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Cops and Crooks, I'm all in on that one. And then it looks like I'm going to be dabbling all over the place from there. Tik is very interesting. My dad, huge Tik guy. He used to collect all the Tik figures. So I'm tempted to get into some of that action too. We'll see where it goes there. Mythic Legions came in. Their big announcement so far, at least, was Skeleton Warriors. Now, Skeleton Warriors were an all-timer of a peg warmer back in the 90s, but there are a lot of people very nostalgic for it. I got to say, even myself, going to KB back at the time, seeing those all the time, it's kind of nostalgic just because you remember seeing them all the time. Don't think I'm going to take that extra step to get Skeleton Warriors, but we got those announced officially from Mythic Legions and the Infinite Legions line. Very cool for those. There's a lot of skeleton collectors. Have to imagine they're going to dive into that one as well. Coming out of left field here, Super 7. We talked about NECA being quiet, dialing back. Super 7 has dialed way back over the last couple of years. We did get those two toy versions, toy-colored Thundercats and Mumra and Lino with the light-up eyes. Very expensive. Those were shown again. We talked about those already. But the big announcement for Super 7 for me this weekend was the Astral Moat Monster, 195 big deluxe figure. Very, very cool. I love stuff like this. I know I can hear people already, that price point, but you're talking a one and done mold, small limited run. Very, very cool. I'll probably pick this one up. I don't like the price point either, but man, it does look pretty cool. Will be great to sit in my Thundercats display, which I still got to build. That thing's just out of control. There's so much out of control in my life. I'm like on a crazy train, like a young Ozzy Osbourne. 1 year since Ozzy passed away. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're not having fun, Todd, when you're not having fun. But Astral Moat Monster, $195. You gonna pick that up? Do you need that in your collection? What's your thoughts? Could you mix it in a different collection? That's another thing you could possibly do. We saw Bull Airs. I was hoping to see more Denver the Last Dinosaur. That is a day one purchase for me. I love Denver the Last Dinosaur. That was a great cartoon, very underrated, starring good friend of the channel, Jeff George, of course. We remember him in that show. But Bull Airs Inspector Gadget line. Once again, my dad loves Inspector Gadget figures. He might want to jump in on these too, but he's trying to get out of collecting. I get it. But Inspector Gadget wouldn't be a bad piece of business. I feel like you can never do wrong with Inspector Gadget in your collection. At least one. Maybe get Professor Claw, Penny Brain. Who knows? But we got those coming. One thing I thought was really cool, I don't collect Star Trek. I'm not really a Star Trek guy. I've dabbled, I've seen some stuff, but it's just not for me. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. But Nacelle has a Build-A-Bridge Star Trek, like the bridge, the Enterprise, basically where they all huddle around. I think that is a very cool thing. Reminds me a little bit of Eagle Moss, where you slowly build stuff. Apparently, you're going to be able to buy pieces and slowly build it. It's going to be big. It's going to be bad. It's going to be nationwide. Dare I say universe-wide, I guess, with Star Trek. But I think this is a very cool idea, a very fun idea. Can't wait to see people get this on display with all the figures and stuff. I think that'll be a really fun thing. Wanted to point that out there a little bit. Also wanted to point out a little Jada Toys action. Jada Toys coming in pretty strong. We saw all kinds of stuff. We did see the continuation of their cereal box line. I still have Fred and Barney. I have not unboxed those. We'll get to those on the channel eventually here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But we did see Dino, of course, the pet dinosaur. He's coming with Fruity Pebbles. So be very interested to see him. Very cool that they're continuing on, but it makes me say, where's Captain Crunch? Where's all these other ones? I wish they could move faster, and that's the only knock I really have on Jada Toys. And it's not even a knock, because I do like the slow rollouts on stuff, because we have stuff coming all the time. It's nice to have slow ancillary collections every once in a while, and that's what the cereal collection is for me. But Dino looking pretty good. Picking that up to go with Fred and Barney, there's no doubt. We also saw Scooby-Doo. We're getting the next couple of waves here. Another fun line that has a slow rollout. We got Fred and Daphne, all-timers. You got to have both those in the collection. We got Charlie Robot, Captain Cutler, the Headless Horseman, and the Zombies. So we got some more villains here. We're going to have those guys surrounded with villains before you know it. Have to think maybe next year they'll show off the Mystery Machine. We'll see if that ends up happening. But Jada Toys coming in hot with Scooby-Doo. I know that resonates with a lot of people in the audience for sure. But for sure, one thing that resonates with me is, you know what Jerry Reed always says. I can tell you right now, I've never heard Jerry Reed ever say that. Oh, we're back. And I can tell you, working blue from the couch, Todd McFarlane, you'll never hear me say that either. But continuing on with some of the toy news, a little bit left to finish up here in this very video. Once again, we got a ton of Toy News videos on the channel over the last week or so check them out, roll through the playlists, all that fun stuff. But we saw Hasbro Kenner-inspired Ghostbuster figures. We saw Louis Tully and Janine. So we got Tully and Janine coming there. I'm here for that. It looks like they're a 2-pack there. Going to go great with the rest of those Ghostbusters. I think I'll have to pick this set up. A nice little ancillary collection. I'm not opposed to this. So if you're after those are going to be up as well. We also saw Mondo coming in swinging with the Ghostbusters. I'm trying to dial it back. I missed out on the Panther, of course, for San Diego Comic-Con, and it really got me all worked up. And I was planning on buying the Ghostbusters, and I said I was so disgusted by the Panther thing, I'm not getting the Ghostbusters, and I would have missed out on the first 1,000 Ghostbusters anyways. But it took me out of that. I said, I'm just going to go with the Ghostbusters, the 4 regular versions. I'm good with that. But we did see the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 3 and all kinds of accessories, all kinds of bells and whistles there. Once again, I would love to have it in my collection. I don't really got room for that. So I think I'm passing on. I'm just going to have the 4 Ghostbusters displayed, and that's going to be it. Unfortunately, I would love to collect more. You only have so much room. You only got so many finances. You got to draw the line like a young Aerosmith somewhere. You draw it right there. You sniff it up, and then you're off to the races. That's what you are. But I'm passed on the Ecto 1 and Ecto 3, at least as of right now. I don't think we've seen price points, but you know it's going to be $400 or $500, something like that. It's going to be Mondo pricing. And I love Mondo stuff, but it is very expensive. You got to pick and choose. And I've done that over the last couple of years. I had to bow out of the X-Men line. I bowed out on some of the Masters, bowed out on the Spider-Man. Hate to do it, but I had to do it. And we will do in a future video talking and recapping the Mondo announcements there. We saw some Stratoses and all points in between. So more on that in the future, of course. And we'll finish up with a couple of other things here. Street Fighter movie figures from Hasbro. We saw Akuma, aka Roman Reigns, Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li. Movie adaptions. I think these are passes for me. I might buy the Cody Rhodes just to run it through its paces because it feels weird getting a Cody Rhodes figure from Hasbro. Might be something to look at. Maybe Akuma, but boy, it really doesn't look a lot like Roman Reigns from what I see in pictures. But we got those, and apparently people are picking them up at the show. I don't know. I'm not sure on that exactly, but coming to a Walmart, Target, and all points in between, I'll definitely go check out the movie. You got to check the movie out, of course. So we'll see where that goes. Street Fighter movie coming later this year. And then we're going to finish it off with one Todd McFarlane note from the couch. It looks like it's being sold at San Diego Comic-Con. Some people are reporting GameStop. I'm going to pick mine up from our friends over there at Jay's Toys and Games once again. McFarlane, Spartan, Wildcats. We saw more images of that. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all the Wildcats. I think that's probably as deep as we're going to go because it is a DC license. But I'm here for Spartan. I'm here for all the image guys. Love the Wildcats team. I guess it'll feel very incomplete with just Spartan and Grifter, but leave the Playmates memories alone. That's what we'll do right there. Todd, anything else? You got a lot of pins to plug? I'm not going to plug the pins. I don't think so. I appreciate you're moving and shaking with those pins, but I don't know if anybody's interested in the pins. But if you are, check out McFarlane Toys, of course. Oh, stop the clock. A lot more than just Spartan from McFarlane Toys, and we will get that in another video. That is a little miscellaneous toy news update here today. Anything trip your trigger, anything you need to have in your collection, anything you can't live without out of this stuff, let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels. Multiple YouTube channels to subscribe to by now. Check those out, of course, along the way. Check out Patreon. Check out YouTube channel membership. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available where podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for another Toy News San Diego Comic-Con edition, I'm Kyle. You know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling into another Toy News video.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Down we here, this place is screwed. Y'all